started with the phone calls. Lisa was a 23-year-old college student, living alone in a small apartment near campus. She was used to the occasional wrong number, but these were different. Late at night, always after midnight, she'd answer, only to be met with nothing but breathing. Slow, deliberate, and too close to the receiver. "Hello?" she'd say, her voice tightening. Silence. Then the caller would hang up. At first, she brushed it off. Weirdos exist. Maybe it was just some prank, or some creep dialing random numbers, but the calls kept coming. Every night. Then, the notes appeared. The first one was small, slipped under her door, in the middle of the night. A plain white piece of paper, with just 4 words. "I love watching you." Lisa's stomach dropped. She checked the locks. Deadbolt secure, window shut. There was no way someone could have gotten in, and yet, someone had been there. She told herself it had to be a prank, maybe from someone in her building, right? But the second note came 2 nights later. "You're beautiful when you sleep." Lisa barely slept that night. She started changing her routine. She never came home the same way twice. Always checked behind her when she walked home from work, but the feeling of being watched wouldn't go away. Then came the footsteps. One night, as she lay in bed scrolling through her phone, she heard it. Soft, shuffling outside her window. Her apartment was on the 2nd floor. Her breath caught in her throat. Slowly, she turned toward the window, but saw nothing. Just the reflection of her dimly lit room in the glass. Her heart pounded as she reached for her phone and typed out a message to her best friend. "I think someone's outside my window." She held her breath, waiting for a response. Just then, her phone buzzed. But it wasn't her friend. It was an unknown number. Lisa stared at the screen. No way. Her stomach clenched as she swiped to open the message. "Why are you still awake?" Her blood ran cold. She bolted upright and turned the lights on, heart hammering against her ribs. It was just a coincidence, right? Someone messing with her? She tried to rationalize it, but her hands were already shaking as she called the police. The officers arrived in under 15 minutes. They searched the property, checked around the building, and even went up onto the fire escape outside her window. Nothing. No footprints. No forced entry. The only thing they found was a single oily handprint smudged on the glass. Lisa barely slept for the next week. She kept the lights on all night, only falling asleep when exhaustion won. But the man wasn't done yet. The final straw came exactly 1 week later. It was 2:37 a.m. when she heard it. Lisa froze. She was half asleep when the sound reached her ears, a soft, deliberate tapping on the glass. Her body went rigid. Slowly, carefully, she turned toward the window, and there he was. A tall, gaunt figure, his face obscured by darkness. His hand was pressed against the glass, fingers long and splayed. His breath left a foggy smear against the window. But it was the eyes that made Lisa's stomach lurch. They weren't just watching her. They were waiting. For what? Lisa didn't wait to find out. She screamed, scrambled for her phone. By the time the police arrived, the man was gone. Just like before. Again, no footprints. No forced entry. No proof that anyone had ever been there. But Lisa knew what she saw. And the worst part? The landlord knew too. She broke her lease the next morning, shaking as she packed up her belongings. As she handed in her keys, the landlord gave her a tired, haunted look. "You're not the first," he said quietly. Lisa stopped. "What?" "The last tenant. She told me the same thing. A man at her window. Watching. Tapping. She left in the middle of the night. Wouldn't even tell me where she was going. I tried to report it, but..." He shook his head. There was never any evidence. Lisa felt sick. She left that day, never looking back. But exactly 1 week later, she received one final letter. No return address, no fingerprints, just a single sentence in shaky, uneven handwriting. You were smart to leave. I was getting tired of waiting. Lisa moved across the country, changed her number, deleted her social media, but sometimes, in the middle of the night, she still hears it. If you made it this far, what would you do if you saw someone staring at you from your window in the dead of night? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the story and want more chilling tales, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new upload.